That's when you remember when that kind of became the thing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was born in '69, so you know, '80s and if you made it through the '80s and the '90s and you still here, it's a blessing.
Really?
Oh yeah, definitely, it's a blessing.
When did you first start to get in trouble? When you get caught?
Man, I was getting in trouble at Ralph J. Bunch Elementary. Yeah, 5th and 6th grade. You know, we was stealing cars and. Man, we used to break into school just to smoke weed and shit.
Break into the school to smoke weed?
Yeah, I mean, you can't be, we young, you know, me and my boy Curtis Taylor.
Right.
You know, and my boy Tony, man, we can't be out on the block at that age. We like, you know, 12, 13 years old.
Right.
So we break in the cafeteria and shit, sitting there and smoke homegrown joints.
Wow. Were you doing other drugs at the time, no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no. I ain't never been a sampler.
Right. So this whole era of you kind of being out like that, like, did you ever actually get locked up and do a serious amount of time?
I mean, well, yeah, I've been in and out to jail, from juvenile hall to, you know, county jail time and shit like that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
How much did that change you, or what was life like after realizing what that was like?
I mean, I really realized, I'll say, because also, you know, I'm a suicide survivor as well.
And what age did that happen at?
I was 22 years old.
Oh, that young. Okay, I'm thinking that was going to be later in life.
No, I was actually 22 because at Miss Price's house, I was bringing a lot of drama to the house.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I was getting into shootouts. I was selling drugs, so the police was raiding the house. And when I was in camp, somebody shot the house up.
Wow.
You know, Miss Price had opened the door, and, you know, thank God. You know, God was protecting her, because when she opened the door, you know, somebody had a shotgun and start shooting.
And they didn't hit her?
No, and just, she closed the door just in time. And when I came home, it was, you know, it was still buckshots right by the wall. And her daughters, you know, pretty much had asked me to leave when I was 16.
Wow.
Because back then, I was mad as shit at them.
Yeah.
But as I got older and realized it, you know, I forgave them, you know, and embraced them. But when I was put out, all I knew was the streets. So I was staying pillar to post wherever I could, you know, rest my head. And you could stay at your homie's house, you know, here and there, just like the homie Trout, rest in peace. I remember I used to spend the night at his house, and his mom would come in the morning like, what, that boy ain't got nowhere to live? Why he always staying over here?
Right.
You know, so it's like you stay here, you stay there, and I'm staying with different people. And that's how a lot of people kind of became family to me. That's how I kind of gained like aunties and nephews and bros and things like that from just living with different people and embracing different people. Because Miss Price taught me to be a lovable person. But at when I was 22, it was October the 31st, December the 31st, 1991. Okay. And I woke up that day, you know, ironed my Dickie suit, and you know, got ready. I was staying at the young homie Young Fool house, and was getting ready to go outside. And for some reason, man, it's like something just took over me. You know, I remember sitting on people's porches and, you know, all night in the rain, sleeping in cars and sleeping in garages on concrete or wherever I could. And that particular day, it seemed like I just felt like, man, I was just living life, taking up space. I really feel like I had no purpose in life. And, you know, I was having suicidal thoughts. And who I was in the neighborhood, I guess I had too much pride. And I was more of embarrassed to go and let my OGs know, you know, how I was feeling. Because I don't know, I guess I didn't want people to look at me as being weak.
Nowadays, there's a lot of conversation about mental health, but yes. Did you not even really like understand the idea of being depressed, or? I didn't understand it. I literally didn't understand it. And, you know, like I remember, you know, grabbing a gun and, you know, I put it to my head, and, you know, two of the little homies was there, and they're like, man, what you doing, man? Like, man, what you doing inside? Like, man, why you playing with the gun? I said, I'm not playing, man. Like, had you thought about it before this?
Yeah, many times. Many times. You know, many nights I've been out in the rain all night, just sitting on people's porches. I'm hustling. I'm doing everything possible that I could to stay afloat, to stay above water. But without that family love, that family structure, it just It just wasn't adding up to me.
And did you have no relationship with Miss Price after this, or
well, Miss
did
Price,
you stay in touch?
I stayed in touch, but she had got cancer. So Miss Price had got sick, and then she had got Alzheimer's. She passed, and she passed like years. She passed in '92. So after she passed, it was like I didn't care about nothing.
You had nothing grounding you.
That was it. You know, that was it. I didn't care about nothing, and I grabbed a gun and, you know, I put it to the side of my head and I just let it go.
And, I mean, I don't even see a scar.
Oh, it's right there.
Okay.
It's permanent.
Not too significant.
It used to look worse.
It's hard to see.
It used to look like Frankenstein, but
right.
I guess I grew into it.
So what happened? The bullet just missed your brain, or where'd it go?
It went in, you know. And I don't even know if they got it out, but I know I flatlined.
So it might be in your brain, you just don't even know.
I never asked, to be honest with you. And I do know I flatlined, and people that was calling the hospital to check on me, to see about me, they was telling them, we don't expect him to make it. So I was in a coma for a few days. And they was like, well, we don't expect him to make it. He's not going to make it. And, man, I had angels looking over me. And it just wasn't my time.
You were in a coma for how long? I
said a few days.
And you just end up waking up?
Yeah, I end up waking up. And after the gunshot, after it went off, I remember it getting, I kind of felt my body, I fell. And I remember it got like bright, like unbearable, to where I couldn't take the light, and I closed my eyes. And then it got dark, like pitch black. And I remember waking up again, and when I woke up, it was bright, and then my vision was blurry. And as I started coming to, I started looking, and I started realizing, like the light up there, I started realizing like I'm in the hospital. And next thing you know, I'm seeing people all over me, like doctors, and they scrambling around the room, like over me, like, oh, like he's alive. And what is do you know your name? What happened to you? Do you know where you know, the typical questions that they asked. And as I came to, like, I realized I was still in the hospital. And it's crazy because I kind of felt bad that I was still alive. You know, like, I guess I am a failure. I couldn't even kill myself. That's how I felt at that particular time. And when I got out the hospital, you know, a few people showed love, you know, did what they could for me. And it was a trip, because now I'm still living the same way I'm living, with a bandage on my head. I'm still in the streets. You know, my bro Wolf did what he could for me. How
long did it take before you were back to full health?
I say probably like about a month, 2 months before I was in full health. They had me seeing a psychiatrist. You know, because that was kind of like a thing that they recommended, like, you got to go see the psychiatrist, or we gonna put you in a mental institution. But to me, going to see a psych, really, to me, how I looked at it was a waste of my time.
Right.
Because we sitting here going over what I went through, what led me to that, which is not helping me get past it.
Right. But I mean, when I think about therapy, I mean, so much of like what I get value from in therapy is basically just talking about things that I already know are true, that I've already gone over in my head.
Thank you.
But being able to put it out there and say it to somebody and have them objectively take it in without having a dog in the fight, without having, you know, the reason why it's different to talk to your girlfriend or your mom or whatever, because, you know, they're not necessarily objective. You know, therapists, they're trained to be able to be a sounding board for you to get the shit off your chest. Did that ever start to make sense to you?
No, because my therapist, Cinequans, it was these capsules called Cinequans, 100 milligrams. This stuff would put an elephant to sleep.
And that's what they put you on?
And that's
what
they put me on.
Oh,
so
wow.
I would take one of those and I would sleep for days. And one day I was like, you know what, I'm not taking this no more. I already tried to sleep permanently.
Yeah.
So it's not sleep what I need. And I was still living in the same situation. I had to make up my own mind to say, you know what, I can't do this no more. I got to get my life together. I got to get my life together. And that's what anyone that's going through something have to make up their mind and their heart to want to do better, to want to get their life together, because nobody can help you. And when I came out the hospital, and I remember being in the neighborhood, it was people, they laughed at me. Like homies, idiot, you shot yourself in the head. Like, I didn't let it bother me, you know? I didn't let it bother me. Some people I want to flash on, but I'm like, what am I gonna gain from doing that?
Right.
So I started getting into wanting to do music. You know, I had used to do music in the 80s, 87, you know, me and my bro Gangster, who became a part of the Conrads, Mixmaster Spade, you know, cats like that. We used to go to the studio back in 87, but, you know, here it is in the 90s, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing music. I'm gonna start helping people. I'm gonna take what I went through and educate others on it, so they don't ever have to walk down this road. You don't ever have to go into that dark spot, because this is not gonna lead you the right way. So let me show you how to stay into the light, and that's what I did.
Okay guys, we want to thank you so much for getting us to 100,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. If you want to support, please click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200K. Thank you so much.